Hi, Dave from Marshall Chipped here with this week's video diary. The last few weeks have been videos on covers gigs that I've been playing. Today I'm back in the studio with Marshall Chipped. There are basically two different kinds of gigs I play, or at least two different reasons for doing them. Some of my shows are gigs played for the enjoyment of singing and playing guitar and the creative satisfaction of performing. Others are simply to pay the bills. Now ideally you would at least get some enjoyment from the ones done just for the money, and some pay for the ones that you do just for the love of it. Gigs like the ones I've shown in the vlog in the last few weeks, or things like gigs with Furore Ceilidh Band, they hit that sweet spot of enjoying the performance and making a living. No matter how enjoyable a gig is though, covers gigs will never be quite as creatively satisfying as performing my own music. So I'm delighted to talk today about a new project that Marshall Chipped is undertaking. We've spent our time in lockdown writing new material, and we're a fair bit of the way towards being ready to record a new album. Usually at this point in the process, we would be out playing gigs to road test the new songs, but as we're still in COVID times and gigs are harder to come by, people aren't as willing to come out and see them whilst there's still quite a high caseload of the virus. We're going to try something a little bit different. Over the next few months we're going to film a series of live sessions in our Shabby Road studio. Each set will be around 6 songs, mixing the new material with some songs from our current album May You Live in Interesting Times, which is out now on Bandcamp and Spotify, as well as a few older songs that we've not played in a while. We've just finished filming the first of these, and this week's video is a little behind the scenes look at the recording. Just before we start that, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's gone to patreon.com/David Burns and subscribed there. Your support is very, very much appreciated. And also I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed on the YouTube channel. Thank you for all of that. Please enjoy this week's video. We had 2 days set aside for filming, divided into a day to set up all the microphones, the recording equipment and the cameras, and to rehearse and soundcheck, so that when we got in on day 2, in theory all we had to do was turn up, turn on the gear and play. Now if you've ever been involved in a recording session, then you'll know that most of the time is spent on soundchecking the drums, so you're going to see a lot of Peter in this video. It was much easier back in the days of the early Marshall Chipped sessions when we were just working with a drum machine. We were recording everything ourselves with Mike overseeing the production.
Well, that's like the kind of town that thinks that Ayrshire is like urbanised. It's like Dumfriesshire, isn't it? Galloway or something. They're like the inverse Teuchters. Like, you know, you go far south enough and you get Teuchters as well. Different kind of Teuchters. Yeah, I like that one. Are you getting those back as well?
This is the first session that I've recorded with my new wet dry rig, so for all the recording geeks out there, here's a full rundown of the tech spec. We're running 2 8-channel M-Track audio interfaces to record, left and right drum overheads, high, mid and low toms, kick and snare and a drum distance mic, so that's 8 channels of drums in one interface. And in the second interface we've got my vocals, backing vocals from Peter and Michael, my Vox AC15 running wet with all my modulation, delay and reverb pedals, my Fender Blues Junior with the dry guitar signal, a DI with the clean bass signal, and a mic on the bass cab with all of Mike's effects.
Every night I wake up, Pete, and in my dreams I have a DeWalt power screwdriver. Fair enough. Is that the Dean one? Yeah, it's the one Dean had.
Your dreams have changed.
No. I did it. Dun 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 dun. Is it working?
No.
Dun 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 dun. This is just like tarot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just go over here now.
As we had time to rehearse as well as set up, we sound checked with a new song that we've just started working on.
I can't even stand on tiptoes and be your height, man. It's ridiculous. If only.
Day 2, and with everything in the studio prepared the day before, all we have to do now is play the set. And shout out to Brendan of Mike and Pete's other band Visceral Noise Department for helping out operating the cameras.
There'd be a funny drum footage about my face looking disappointed when the drum mic falls asleep.
We ran through the new songs without any issues, then went on to play an old song, one we must have played hundreds if not thousands of times before. And when you see the final cut of the session, you will have absolutely no idea that that was the song that took longest to get down, and pretty much the only thing that we didn't get in the first take.
Don't worry, it's just in your head. Take 2.